everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and today I'm coming at you with a very generous bonus blood points code, as well as an episode of Merch Corner, where we talk about in real life merchandise that you can buy related to Dead by Daylight. And this has to do with the Kickstarter campaign for Dead by Daylight, the board game. Let's start with a blood point code, which I know many of you are going to be interested in here. So Dead by Daylight tweeted out that the Kickstarter campaign for Dead by Daylight, the board game, is now live. Let's roll. And then they have a link to the Kickstarter. To celebrate, redeem the code DBD the Board Game, all one word, through the in-game store for 200,000 blood points. That's a pretty hefty amount. So let's go over here and check out the Kickstarter campaign for the board game. They have a trailer here for it. I might tag it on at the end so that you can see it. But we're just going to get into the meat of this Kickstarter campaign. So if you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's crowdfunding to back a project. A lot of people say that they'll pay for this item, and if it reaches the goal, then it will be produced. So here's the details for it. This is from Level 99 Games, a games maker in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dead by Daylight, the board game, a strategic survival horror experience for 3 to 5 players. Become a killer or fight for your life as a survivor. Death is not an escape. Now this just started, gosh, I don't know, almost about 2 hours ago, and the thing is already half funded. This is going to get funded on day one. There's no doubt in my mind that this is going to reach the goal for the Kickstarter campaign, and it's going forward 100%. So then you can click to back the project here, but let's just read a little bit about it first here. So we have a couple different levels that you can back here. So we just have, you can pledge $10 and you won't get anything for it. You just give them $10 because you want it to get made. Support the project for no reward, just because it speaks to you. I don't know if anybody's done that. I don't think anybody has put in the $10. The next level is the $49 level. This will get you a standard edition of the board game. The retail edition of Dead by Daylight, the board game, contains everything that you need to play: 7 survivor minis and boards, 6 killer minis and boards, 4 wound rings, a double-sided map board, 89 cards, and all of the tokens. Shipping and local taxes will be charged separately after the project ends. So we've had 38 backers on this. Estimated delivery is October 2022. I got an email from Dead by Daylight about this Kickstarter campaign today, and they said the goal is for it to be delivered by Halloween. So that's the primary level that you can back to receive a reward here for the $49. Most people, now if you look at this, we have 38 backers. Most people are pledging the $99. So we have 38 backers at $49, and let's see how many we have here. 1,309 backers at the $99 level. Now, why is that? It's because this is the deluxe edition that contains so much more here. Collector's edition of the board game, featuring over twice the content of the base game, which includes 17 survivors and 16 killers, 2 double-sided map boards, 8 generator minis and progress pegs, 5 hook minis, 5 dice, and 133 cards. The ultimate Dead by Daylight, the board game experience, not available in retail. Standard manufacturer suggested retail price is $129. We get it for $99. The FAQ, we'll get to that at the end, but it says like you're not going to be able to buy this edition at retail. So that's why everybody's backing this part. So let's go through the story. Step into the fog with Dead by Daylight, the board game. Play as a resourceful survivor. Look out for your teammates and avoid the killer long enough to escape. As the killer, you'll ruthlessly hunt down the survivors and offer them as sacrifices to the mysterious entity. A one versus many survival horror game based on the critically acclaimed video game Death is Not an Escape. Now here we have the 2 editions in the back here. This is that $49 retail version. This longer Monopoly size box here is the $99 edition. It's meant for 3 to 5 players. What was that? Light brain to play Dead by Daylight. What does that mean? Light brain power required, and it takes roughly 45 minutes to play. Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I've already played the game, and it's pretty cool. I had the opportunity to play, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like, how are they going to be able to translate Dead by Daylight, the video game, into a board game? And they did a tremendous job. I'm I was thoroughly impressed with all the ways that they had considered the mechanics of Dead by Daylight and put it into board game format. It's as close as you could get to putting a video game into a board game. Honestly, it's so impressive. I played with Hale. Hale's got a quote here: "A perfect balance of fun and skill for anyone, new or experienced. The DBD board game captured the exact feel and thrill of the video game. Will you play as a resourceful survivor or a ruthless killer?" As a survivor. So what happens is there's different rooms on the map, and you move from room to room, and you have different mobility cards. See, it says play movement cards to explore the trial grounds to find and power up the generators. So you kind of can mind game the killer because you have a variety of paths that you can go on. So in this example here, Dwight is using the yellow movement card to vault into the next room. But you can see there are some other colored paths here. This is the crouching path here. This one is the sprinting path is green down here, and then this blue one is the sneaking path. So you can go in 4 different directions, and you secretly hide your movement cards so that the killer doesn't know which direction you're going, but you're trying to get away from them and at the same time do objectives. Avoid the killer and search for tools to survive. So in this example here, Meg is playing her blue sneaking card to move into this room and search this objective token, and she finds the chest and she can pilfer that for an item. She gets the med kit there in that example. Power generators and then an exit gate to escape and win. So you would need to have 3 survivors come into this room. Oh, I thought this was a generator. This is an exit gate. So exit gate needs 3 lights on. The exit gate can be accessed once you have the generators completed. But normally, say this was a generator, you would go in the room and you would try to successfully roll the dice to get a skill check and get one of the lights on in the generator. And then you have to move on. You can't stay in the room. So you're constantly moving around the map. So it's like you do one skill check and you leave. So there isn't as much gen rushing in it. You have to have a lot of teamwork with people moving into the room and finishing gens, or you have to loop back around and come back to the gen and complete it. It's very interesting. As the killer, you'll hunt down the survivors and attack to wound them. So killer's moving last, and killer is going to use their yellow action because they anticipated that Dwight was going to end up in this room at the end of their turn, and they use the yellow movement card to go in here and wound Dwight, and then he gets that red wound ring around his character model. Then the second time he's hit, he'll be downed, and then he can be put on a hook. And that's how the killer's going to get points, is for the hooks. Drag wounded survivors to the hooks to make sacrifices. So there you see that after Dwight is downed, Trapper's going to take them over to the hook and hook them up, and that's how they get points. If they get maximum amount of hook points, they win. If the survivors can get the generators done beforehand and get the gate open, then they win. So here's the exaction. With the 8 sacrifice progress, you win as killer. You can download the rulebook. I'll have a link to the Kickstarter in the first pinned comment and the description of the video if you want to read through the whole thing and see how it plays. And here they have a little quote from me. "It's remarkable how level 99 has translated the unique Dead by Daylight character abilities into playable actions in the board game." Which was true. Like, I look through the character cards, and you can play a couple different ways. You can play it as Adept, where, remember, there's only original characters in this. There are no licensed characters in this. Only characters created by Dead by Daylight. You can play Adept, where each survivor has their own unique perks, or you can use the Teachables, where you can do, like, Schoolyard Pick and mix up different perks on your characters so that they have a variety that they can use. So when I played as Zarina, for example, I was able to, as the Hale was nurse and he tried to kill me, he entered my room and he tried to hurt me. I don't remember if I was injured already or not. I may have been. I was injured for much of the game. But when Hale came in the room to try and hit me, I was able to use my blood points to activate one of my perks, which was Red Herring, which caused Hale to, instead of strike me, Hale had to go kick the gen, so it saved my butt. You wind up with gathering these blood points that you can use to spend to use your perks as actions. Some of them are free, some of them cost blood points, some of them gather you blood points. So it's very interesting to see the way that they have taken an approach of the unique perks for all the different survivors and have them apply to the gameplay. It's really cool, honestly. Let's see, what else does it say? What's in the box? Standard edition, you get 7 survivor minis, 6 killer minis, 13 player boards. Now these are like sizes of the sheet of paper here for each of these character cards, and then the different perks here are the size of playing cards that you lay down on them for what their perks are. It starts out with their own unique teachables, and then again, if you're playing the other version, you can lay the other perks over top to choose those. And the same thing with the killer, 7 survivor boards, 6 killer boards. Each of the killer obviously has a unique power and how that works in game. So when Hale played Nurse, they were able to blink and get extra movement because of the Nurse's ability to move through the map. Double-sided game board, so you can either play on the Macmillan Estate or Autohaven if you flip it over. So you have 2 maps and you get 89 cards. The movement cards, the survivor perk cards, killer perk cards, and those item cards. These are the props. These are different tokens for the layout of the game. You're exploring the map. You don't really know what's going to be in each room until you turn it over. So the objective, for example, when you search the room, you would find out if it's either a chest or a locker that you could use. Same thing for a hook or a totem or a generator or the exit gate. So you need to explore the map, find the gens, and then start to work on them as survivor. And yeah, okay. So there's also breakable walls in the map. So you saw those pathways, those different colored pathways I showed you. The survivors can't move through those directions if the breakable wall is still in place. The killer is the one that has to knock down the breakable wall, and then you can move through it. Sacrifice progress, those are for the game board to show how far the killer has gotten towards their objective. Generator progress tokens, you put these on the gens to show like how far along the gen is to completion. And we have madness tokens, hag trap tokens, trapper bear trap tokens. This is just to show the order of who plays first per round. Those wound rings that I described that you snap onto the miniatures to show who is wounded. And then we have a variety of the skill check dice and the danger dice for those skill checks that are particularly difficult. The killer can force you to make a normal skill check into a dangerous one. And then these are your blood point tokens that you gather to use your perks in the game. Now, here's that collector's edition. So this is the one that comes with 17 survivor minis and 16 killer minis, plus 1 little mini Victor. The game goes through up until the Trickster. So when this was in development, they had all the information on all the original characters up through the Trickster chapter. Whether there will be expansions beyond that, who can say? 5 hook minis, 8 generator minis, plus 25 generator progress pips. And then you have all the player boards. Obviously, we have the extra characters here to go along with those miniatures. This is an expansion beyond. You're getting basically all the characters up through Trickster chapter that are original, not the license. You're not going to see Michael Myers, Laurie Strode in here, etc. Just the ones that Dead by Daylight owns. Then you're going to get an extra map. So you have extra playability on this. So instead of just Macmillan and Autohaven, you're going to get the Crotus Pren Asylum and Mount Ormond Resort on the second board. Double-sided. 133 cards, so obviously you need to have extra cards because you have survivors and killers who aren't in the basic set, and those 16 item cards, the prop tokens. I think all of this is the same, except, okay, Clown has some of the some tokens for the different tonics, the Afterpiece tonic and antidote. Trickster has some knives. Plague has purge tokens. Otherwise, everything else there is the same. Okie dokie. So that's basically it. Oh, I need to know this. So shipping, $19 for me for Canada, for shipping to Canada. These are estimates. Changes to shipping rates later in the year may change the final cost of shipping. Okie dokie. So I had a lot of fun playing it. I really think that it does an incredible job in emulating the video game and a board game experience. I think that anybody who is a fan of Dead by Daylight will be thoroughly impressed with it. Matthew's got a quote here. Level 99 have managed to perfectly adapt the Dead by Daylight experience to a board game. Matthew told me I was going to love it, and he was right. I can't say enough about it. It was just a great experience. I would love to play it again. And obviously I am going to play it again because I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And I am going to back the $99 version. What are we on here? Yeah, I'm going to back the $99 version because I want to have all of the extras. Also, from a collectible standpoint, I think that this is going to be the one that, you know, people are going to want. Oh, I want to show you that FAQ. Let's show you that FAQ before we leave here because there's some important questions. It was funny, like, when this started, just watching the first 5 minutes of this counter just go up live. I don't know what it was at while I've been blabbering on making this video, but it was like, wow, just watching the counter go in real time was amazing. Where's that FAQ? Here we go. Okay, will it include the licensed ones? No, only original killers and survivors created by Behavior Interactive are included in the board game. Will more killers, survivors, and maps be added to the game later? Anything could happen, but for now we're focusing on this campaign and the content within. I don't know what that means. Pledge manager. I think that's like how you go through to finalize your order. Can I pledge for multiple copies of the game? You can add additional copies post-project on the pledge manager. Will the collector's edition be available post-project? This is important. While supplies last at full MSRP at $129, so that would presumably be on their website. The collector's edition will be printed in limited quantities and will not be going to retail. The best way to guarantee your copy is to pledge here on the Kickstarter. Is there a difference between pledging via Kickstarter or ordering this game through Level 99's online store? The collector's edition in our online store will be in our online store post-project. Okay. Will there be stretch goals in this project? No, so there won't be any extra add-ons to the project. What size are the cards? Standard poker size. How big are the minis? Survivors are up to 40 millimeters and killers are up to 55 millimeters. We will be shipping from Europe and UK, so you won't need to contact your customs office. If your country charges value-added tax, import taxes, those will be included as part of the shipping prices. Okay. So it sounds like this is EU-friendly. Is it going to ship from there? Will there be how to play video showing gameplay? Soon. We're finishing up a video now. It should have one on the main page before the Kickstarter ends. Do the minis come painted? This is an important thing here. Minis come unpainted. So they did a great job painting them for the display model. Whoever painted them did a fabulous job, but they come unpainted, but the sculpts are incredible on them. So even plain, the sculpts look great. And if you are talented enough to paint them up, I think you'll enjoy painting them because they look really, really good. Does this game have solo or two-player only mode? No. So that's, you know, that's a detraction. It's a little difficult unless you're, you know, have a great group of friends that you get together on board game night. Normally, it's much easier to get into a game of Dead by Daylight, playing obviously remotely with people from around the world as we cross-play with one another, than it is to get a bunch of people under your roof to play the board game with you. But I'm still gonna get it, even if my wife isn't interested in playing the game with my son and myself. I'm still getting it just because it looks so great. Like, look at the little mini Jake hanging on the hook there. It's so cool. All right, so that's what I have for you today. We'll play this trailer here to go out for the outro. But man, the response to this just shows you the demand here. I hope Funko is taking notice of this and looking at like how people are willing to put their money where their mouth is regarding Dead by Daylight collectibles, because we'll wait. TikTok Funko, when you see this, how many backers just within under 2 hours. It's very encouraging to see that, you know, Funko Pops will be a success too. Remember, people are paying like 10 times the amount of what one Funko Pop would cost for this board game. But the board game is great. I can't say enough about it. I had a blast playing it. I was grateful for the invitation to play it, and I'm sure y'all are going to love it too. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to get that code to get your 200,000 blood points for DBD the Board Game. Go in game and get those 200,000 blood points. And I'll have the link to back this Kickstarter project if you want to pursue it and back it yourself. Highly recommend that you get that collector's edition for the $99. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, I appreciate your time that you spend here with me. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.